everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the AmandaFest podcast, where our mission is simple. It's to inspire and empower you to take aligned action towards your dream life, whatever that looks like for you. I'm really excited. I have a very fun guest for us here today. This is my friend Jess. We actually met this summer at a conscious music festival in Nashville. Shout out to Deep Tropics. But Jess is a resilient and transformative soul dedicated to spreading joy and empowering others. Jess is a testament to the power of choice and daily affirmation. Her profound experience and dedication to personal growth has inspired the creation of Choosing Joy with Jess, a platform to share her wisdom and empower others. So excited to dive into this conversation and learn all about Jess today. We're going to be focusing on answering the call of your soul. But as we've done with every episode, before we dive into this juicy conversation, just want to take a moment for us all to ground, for me to ground. I need this more than anyone every time we have an episode. Just want to take a moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just slow down for a second. Even if it's for 1 or 2 minutes. I know we're all so busy running around, but just give yourself this time, give yourself this moment. And if it's safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. Just tune into your body, tune into your breath. Don't try to change it or do anything with it. Just notice it. Notice if you're holding tension in any parts of your body. I love to hold tension in my shoulders and my neck. So maybe start to roll that out if that feels good for you. Give that area some love. If it's your jaw, feel free to use your hands. Whatever you need to just feel good and feel present in your body. And we're just going to take a couple nice cleansing breaths together. And with each inhale, I want you to think of something that you're calling in, something you want to feel more of, that you want to fill yourself up with. And with every exhale, I want you to think of something that you're ready to let go of, something that no longer serves you, you're ready to release from your body. So let's take a couple deep breaths with those thoughts in mind. Nice inhale with your intention. And exhale, things you want to let go of. And a nice deep breath in. And exhale. And last one. Feel free to make some noise and shake it out on the last one. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. Welcome. Welcome to your body. Welcome to AmandaFest. And welcome, Jess. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so happy I found you. I'm so happy our little soul bubbles collided. You guys, when Jess and I met, it was like this coming home. It was really crazy. We barely exchanged any words with each other, and it was just this immediate connection. And it was beautiful. We had an incredible weekend at Deep Tropics together, and now we just have each other on each other's journeys, and it's just such a beautiful like I love when this happens. It almost drives me crazy when people say that they don't know how to make friends as an adult, because I can't seem to stop. But I'm so glad I got you, girlfriend. How are you? How are you feeling?
Same. I'm good. I remember seeing you and I was like, couldn't wait to run over there. And you were sitting next to a really good friend of mine too. But it was just so welcoming.
This is the magic of music festivals, guys. But I was laying down on these like cushions next to a stranger, and you were like, "Oh, can I come in here?" And I was like, "Yeah, get in here, girlfriend."
Oh, and then we had that ecstatic dance experience.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, I have done ecstatic dance all around the world now, like everywhere. Like Boulder, Denver, LA, New York, Bali, Tulum,
Miami.
Miami, Nashville. Ecstatic dance knows how to fucking throw down. Like, I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of blown
Mm-hmm.
away.
Oh, the set that I played. I wish it had been there because it was so epic. What's so cool about Ecstatic Dance Nashville is that they really show
Yeah.
up.
I've talked about ecstatic dance a couple times on this podcast, but for people who haven't listened to previous episodes and have no idea what ecstatic dance is, can you give a little intro as to like what it is so they have some context of what we're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. So ecstatic dance is it's free form dancing. It's a non-verbal dance space, which is also substance free, where we use dance and music as the medicine. And the dance is to feel good, right? And to connect to yourself and to others and to source. If you wish, it is your own individual journey. And it is the most encouraging and safe space to just be free and somatic and just move whatever is inside or to bring in what you're receiving. It's different every time.
Totally.
What
And
you
the
need,
energy
what your
of like
body
who's
needs.
there and what kind of music's being played. And there's so many factors that play into every experience being so fucking unique.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about Ecstatic Dance Nashville until Deep Tropics last year.
Really?
And that, yeah, it was a really cool experience. I had just left my job.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't even actually know this full story because we were trying to drop in between running from. We went to go see Elderbrook and Sophie Tucker, and it started torrential downpouring. The show gets canceled. We're running to another stage, and you're like, "Yeah, when I left my corporate job and started," and I was like, "Wait, I want to hear more. I want to know what's going on." But there's a lot happening right now. So, can you
Yeah.
walk us
Yeah.
through a little bit of who was Jess and who is Jess now, and how did we get there?
Where do I start? So I got involved with legal marketing in 1997. And fast forward 25 years in legal marketing. And I feel so grateful for my time there. And leaving out a lot of the gory details, basically, I had a really pinnacle event in my life in 2016 when I chose to quit alcohol and get sober. I beat myself up a lot. I had a lot of unresolved trauma. And even though I've been in therapy, I wasn't really doing the work because I was still constantly numbing myself. While I did a lot of great work and a lot of healing, I wasn't getting into the nitty gritty. We weren't
Right.
digging into that onion very much until I finally stopped numbing myself. And as my self worth began to grow, my tolerance for the toxicity that I was experiencing in my career began to lessen. And the universe is so amazing. It would throw things like discomfort, discomfort, discomfort. You're like dodging, right? And your ego's like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. This is normal. This is normal. It just doesn't feel right. So then I was at a legal conference and I saw Hal Elrod. Do you know who he
No.
is? He wrote the book The Miracle
Uh-uh.
Morning. This was in 2019. And I saw him speak and it was very impactful. And so I got this book and I was like, I'm going to try it. I was really on this trajectory of getting to know myself. And so he has this principles. There are these 6 savers. It's silence, meditation, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing. So journaling.
Mm,
And the premise is that you do these 6 savers every morning. If you can only do an hour, do an hour. If you can only do 5 minutes, do 5 minutes, but do these 6 savers every morning. And I started to do that. And I started to write myself an affirmation. And it really became developed over the long time, but I would say it to myself every day. And so your reticular activating system is a powerful machine in your amygdala, right? It goes and searches for evidence to support what you tell
yep.
it is important, right? So if you say, I know what I want, and I didn't, I had no freaking idea what I wanted. I mean, I did, but I didn't,
Yeah.
Then the universe kept opening doors and I would, not pay attention because I had been
Yeah.
programmed that this is what you do. And I really thought that the company I was working for at the time was like, I built this thing. I built it from the ground up. I was in a startup. And I was like, I am this company, like me. So then more and more things happened where my eyes started to really open up. I was waking up, right? I'm figuring it out now. And I got an opportunity to go work with a different company, which was a huge leap of faith. And this was in late 2020. And I did, and it was great. It's so incredible how that was exactly what I needed to get me where I am today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to prepare me to have the resources and the ability to be where I am today. And so my ego's in it. We're doing it. I'm helping people who were hurt by corporate negligence. My mission was to help my clients help as many people as possible. And I really, really did believe that. And I still think it's a very important aspect of life. But my soul kept saying, not this, not this. My ego would be like, oh, but you're helping people. My soul would be like, oh, not like this, not like this. And so I found these affirmation cards at the Five and Below store. And I started reading them with my team every morning. And that became kind of this thing. And 2022 had this massive vision, like a really powerful download, if you will, because it wasn't a dream. It was really powerful and I could feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm DJing this really high vibe event and I'm speaking love into people. You are worthy. You are enough. And we're doing this immersive art experience. I'm bringing people up and we're creating art. We're doing art therapy. We're doing all of this thing. And then at the end of the show, I sell the canvas and all the proceeds go to support a nonprofit organization that I started in this vision that provides scholarship programs for people to get holistic mental health care, right? So it's like, here's a year's worth of resources to get some holistic mental health care. So not just talk therapy, but all of the other really beautiful modalities that we need for healing, whether it be Kundalini activation process or plant medicine journeys or meditations. Or
supplemental to the talk.
Yes, supplemental, right? Combo, not one or the other, but a combo, a holistic, all of it. Wow, that's a lot, right? What does that mean? You know, that vision. I'm processing, I'm thinking about it. And I share it with my team at the time and they're like, okay, you should do that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should. Well, the first thing I needed to figure out how to be a DJ, right? Because I don't know how to be a DJ. I loved EDM. I always loved dancing and went out dancing all the time. I bought a tiny little DDJ 200 and I didn't touch it for a year, right? Because I'm working and the universe is like, how about some of that discomfort? How about some of this discomfort? How about this? How about that? And in the meantime, I'm working through it. I'm fighting through it, but I feel it. I can feel it. Actually, I have a videotape of me. I'm bawling. I'm crying. And I'm like, I can't handle this industry anymore. It's hurting me. It's hurting my heart. I still save that and look at it every once in a while because that propelled me into the universe opening doors. Right. I was approached by 3 of my closest colleagues in the legal industry, and they said, we want to start an organization for women. I said, yes, let's do that. So we started the League, which is a coalition of women uniting all facets of the legal industry with a focus on personal development, professional growth. We wanted to teach women the financial vernacular, how to build a nest egg themselves, and also to support and celebrate each other. I'm like, yes, we are doing this. And we do, and it's huge. It really takes off. And we're at a conference. I'm always wanting to do like these connection sessions where I want to really dive in and I want to do a meditation and I want to do some movement and I want to write our affirmations and gratitude practices. And they're like, you do that on your own. I said, okay, I will. So I started this thing and I did it at one of our conferences called Joy with Jess. There was 11 of us, that magic number, and they met at 6:00 in the morning in Las Vegas to have this choosing joy, but I called it Joy with Jess at the time, experience. And it was amazing. And I felt it, man. This was in April of 2023. And I'm like, ooh, this is something really good. And at this time, I still have no idea how to DJ. So I just spliced all the music together via GarageBand. The beats are not great. The tempos are not great. But anyway, so the premise was that we would meditate, and we would visualize our success at the conference, because the conferences are hard. I mean, it is 48 to 72 hours. You are go, go, go. You are on, you are hammered. And it's Las Vegas, right? So you've got that part of it too, the constant stimulation. And you're in a male dominated industry, and it just can be really hard on your heart and your mind. And then we did a gratitude practice, and we wrote our own affirmations. People always say, I'll believe it when I see it. And I'm sure you're familiar with Wayne Dyer. He is quoted to say, you'll see it when you believe it. And I feel like you'll believe it when you feel it.
Yeah.
And what's a better way to really feel it, right, is to start moving and to move it in your body. And this time I didn't have any idea what ecstatic dance was, or even somatic dancing. I was just like, music gets me going. So we had this massive dance party at 6:00 in the morning in Las Vegas, and it was huge. And I remember afterwards, I had the hardest time like going to my booth and selling mass tort cases. I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. Does it feel right?
Because you like went from being so in alignment and expansive to then being put in a box of like what you're supposed to do.
What I'm supposed to, which again, I always believed in it. It was just a separation, it was like, not this way, not this way. And then of course the universe, how about some of this discomfort? How about this? How about this? And I was just dodging and I just got tired of dodging. Yeah. So late July, I had the hard conversation with my husband, and I said, I've got a plan. December I had gotten another download to take a year off. December before, that was before the April.
Wait. What is the exact date?
It was December 2022.
Okay.
I got a download, right? And it's not a voice. You don't hear somebody talking to you. It's like
it's a knowing. It's a knowing. I did the same thing in May 2023. I quit my job, packed up my apartment, did all this, and it made no sense. Life was amazing. Everything was great. And it was like, why? And for me, it was just, it was this download of this is what you're supposed to do. Like, do it. You better listen.
Yeah.
You better listen.
Yeah. You feel it, right? You feel it. So I'm like, I don't know what it looks like. I know your listeners won't be able to see this, some of your listeners, but it was like, this is my dream life. There's all these different things. Like I knew I wanted to do all these different things, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I knew I needed to create the Choosing Joy experience at some point, right? So I left. It was like July 31st. And I was like, okay, here we go. I'm jumping. I don't have a parachute, but I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And I took the first month and really decompressed. I did nothing.
This is now in July?
Well, technically August 1st, yeah.
I'm just thinking about, because we didn't know each other yet, and I'm just thinking about where were you and where was I at this, like, we're pretty parallel at this point of the journey, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, almost exact, right? I probably should have quit in May. I had a plan. I wasn't going to be like, oh, here, you pay all the bills now. Like I put it together. I didn't quit my job with $25 in my bank account.
That's the thing that most people need to remember when people are like, oh, quit your job, go live your best life. It's like, okay, but be smart about it. Like same with me. I had money saved. I was good. I stopped when it was time to stop and replenished my bank account when it was time. There's a level of fancy freeness to it. And then there's also a level of responsibility to it. And there's a way to do it in a balanced way.
Yeah. With that abundant mindset, right? With that optimistic mindset, with that trust and that faith. Because I don't think I'd be where I am today if I hadn't had that conviction, this solid conviction that what I was doing was going to work.
It's a knowing. It's a knowing deep in your soul. And that knowing, I'm so happy we're having this conversation, by the way, because I'm at another crossroads right now and I need all these fucking reminders. And I'm sure my listeners probably the same thing. If you're at a point of this crossroads and you're like, I don't fucking know what to do. And sometimes you get that really clear inner calling And sometimes it's the opposite, where you get the inner knowing that it's not right, but you don't yet have the knowing of what is. And so I'm curious if you have the same advice. My thought on that and what I'm experiencing like as of today is just make a move. Make a move. It might be the wrong move, but then you can pivot. But if you stay where you know you're not supposed to be, that's when you start dying.
You do. For me, the universe is always like, when you start having that feeling, you have to go, okay, you're throwing some roadblocks
Yeah.
in my way. What else? Show me. How does it get
Oh,
better
yeah.
than this? Is what I say to the universe all the time. Show me how it gets
Show me
better
how
than
good it
this.
gets, universe. Show me how good it gets.
Show me how good it gets. How does it get better than this? How does
I
it
do
get
the
better?
same.
I also, when I get to a point like that, I have that discomfort of, ooh, what am I doing? This isn't going to work. I should just start driving an Uber. I can't even tell you how many times my stupid brain goes, you're going to have to get a job driving an Uber. And I'm like, well, do I? I mean, if driving an Uber is going to help me become the messenger of love, hope, and joy that I know I'm supposed to be on this earth to do, then okay, maybe. Or is it something else? And I had to get quiet, right? I take a lot of time. I go out in nature. I get my feet
Yeah.
in the ground. I talk to Mother Gaia. I'm like, all right, you got me.
Do you think
Show
that when
me.
your brain goes that direction, it's coming from fear?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Because you're
110%.
like, we're wired for survival. So the minute that we feel unsafe, the minute that we're stepping into the unknown territory, the minute that things are unclear, unsure, our brains immediately are like, okay, what's safe? What's safe? What's safe? Let me grab something that's safe.
And by the way, I would
For
drive an Uber,
sure. But it's
you
more
know?
about if it's in alignment for you. And that's why with my podcast, when I say taking aligned action towards your dream life, whatever that means for you,
Yeah.
it's very individual and specific. And you're the only one that knows, is driving for Uber going to get you from point A to point B, or is it a distraction? Or is it something that you're doing because you're like, oh, I don't trust myself. I don't believe in myself. And you're like, I'm financially fine right now. I don't need to do this. But my brain is like, do this because we're scared.
What if, what if
Yeah.
this can't work? This is impossible. You don't know what you're doing.
Which,
What is it that you're
isn't
even
it funny that
offering?
we all have the same little inner voice?
You know what it is? So much
Oh,
generational
yeah.
trauma. It's so our sweet little inner children, those neural pathways that are formed when our third
Yep.
trimester in utero to when we're
Mm-hmm.
7, right? That,
Well,
and
that's when
we
our
all, and
subconscious is formed during that time period. Everything that you think,
your
yeah, every
beliefs
single
about
thing that
yourself.
you think in your head is your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is solidified in those very early years. And I even realize it now because I'm very lucky. I have a very close relationship with my family. But even now, when I say certain things, I used to be the person where if I said something and my mom or dad was like, no, Amanda, that's crazy, I would start feeling bad about myself. And they're careful about it now because now they're like, wait, I don't think anything's crazy. Like everything you say happens. So I believe you. I trust you. Honestly, that's where they're at. My mom's like, I don't get it, but like you're amazing. I don't know, it's crazy. But every once in a while she'll make a comment or she'll say a thing that my little self is like, but then I correct her. One of my favorite phrases that I like to give people to say back when somebody says, like, that's crazy, you can't do this is blah blah. Like, that is true for you. Because if you believe that, then that's your truth and your reality, and that's what's gonna happen. But don't tell me what's possible for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I heard this on your podcast, but it was, don't ever take advice from somebody who hasn't done
Yep,
what it is that you
yep,
want to
yep,
do or hasn't
yep.
jumped, right? Because they are
Well,
living in
yeah, well,
fear.
it's all limiting beliefs that they're projecting, right? So if I'm wanting to quit my corporate job to pursue a dream and I'm talking to somebody who's never done that before, of course they're going to say, that's, don't do that, that's crazy, that's irresponsible. I've listened to so many podcasts and so many interviews and talked to so many people that are wildly successful, and you hear the same exact recurring thing over and over and over again, which is that in order to be wildly successful, at some point or another, what you thought was possible seemed delusional to others. Delusional. You're like, that's crazy. And then there's the limiting beliefs of, oh no, when I told people I was going to start a podcast, they're like, wait, but what are you going to talk about? And who are you going to interview? And how are you going to have time for that? And do you even understand the technology? And I was like, no, but let me tell you, I'm figuring it out. I'm on episode 18 and I have a laundry list of people lined up to be on next. It's working out. It's fine. But it's because I decided that it was inevitable that it would. I decided that this is happening and I'm doing it. And like, I'm just doing it. Like, I'm taking action. That's the fucking purpose of this podcast. I have a dream, I have a vision, and I'm going to start taking steps towards that dream and vision. Even right now with AmandaFest as a whole and the business and everything that I'm doing, it's like I have a day job and I have all these other things, but I had this dream and I have this vision of this thing I want to build. And I could sit there and just dream about it all day and say, oh, one day I'd love to work for myself and I'd love to help people and I'd love to create content and da 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 da. And or I could just do it. I could sit here and I could dream and I could think about things, and or I could just start taking action today. So I did an Instagram post yesterday that was asking ChatGPT, if you were Satan, what would you do to keep people from realizing their full potential? And of course, every single bullet point was what is happening in today's society. It was
distractions,
yep.
self-doubt, fear.
Procrastination. And it was all of these things that are the reason why, if you ask anybody who's not living their dream, why aren't you living your dream? These are all the things they'll give you. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, someone else is already doing it. Oh, who am I to do that? It's crazy how powerful our minds are. It really is so wild once you get your mindset. And that's why I loved hearing your story of the beginnings of the different steps that you were doing to start that transformation, to start that shift. I think that affirmations on their own, anything on its own is fucking bullshit, because you could sit there and look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. But then if you don't take action like you're fucking beautiful, you're not embodying it. Like,
walk into a room like you're beautiful. I always feel like I have reverse body dysmorphia, because I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, God, I look good. I'm so hot. I'm so hot and I feel so good. And then I'll look at a picture later on. I'll be like, I can't believe I thought I looked so good. But in the moment I did. And everyone around me thinks I look good, you know? But I'm always like, interesting. You know, in the moment, I'm like really, really in it.
But also, pictures don't always capture your full essence. That's why I think social media and Instagram and all that can be really misleading, because you're creating these two-dimensional versions of very three-dimensional people sometimes.
Well, plus it's just the highlight reels, right? No one really ever posts the hard stuff. Right. Which has been like something that's important for me. I'll make posts where it's first thing in the morning. Sometimes I have my glasses on. It's like, this is the real deal. Sometimes I'm crying, you know.
Well, I think that's the whole purpose of conscious content creators. So I just did a whole course on this. I just did a conscious content creator course, which was unbelievable. It was amazing. Yeah. But I was on a call this morning. Dude, I started today like low. I started today just feeling so horrible about myself, like so lost, so confused. Then I did this call, I did a meditation. Then I had a friend who was like, Amanda, she's like, do you need me to hold space or do you need me to just tell you what to do? And I was like, somebody tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. And then I just started taking action, and I'm like, just that reminder of nothing's permanent. You get so stuck in that executive overwhelm of, oh no, thinking out all these things. And it's like, or just make a move, book a flight, make a decision, and you can always change your mind later. But something that came up on that call earlier today was I was feeling not confused, but just I was questioning, as I'm starting to share more of myself on social media and share more of myself on the internet, like this podcast, I am grappling with giving myself boundaries, right? Not sharing everything, but I want to be real. I want to be raw. I want to be authentic. I want to share, but I also don't want to share while I'm still processing something. And
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
we talked a little bit about that today. I was like, well, I have all these amazing stories of past things that I've experienced and moved through and been through that I could share that would definitely support people on their journeys. But right in this exact moment, I don't know if I want to share what I'm moving through right now because I'm still processing it. I haven't gotten to the
Yeah.
other side yet of being able to reflect upon it and pull the wisdom out of it. Right. And
Yeah, well, I mean, for example, your post about Burning
mhm,
Man, right? That was, you had processed
yeah,
that and you had gone through that and you beautifully
thank you.
communicated that. And so I thought that was a very real, not a highlight reel,
Totally.
right? It was like, it was hard and this is where I am now. And yes, I might come back to this place again in the future, but right now where I'm at, this is not going to be for me.
Totally.
So your listeners should check out all your content if they're
Thank
not. They
you.
really should.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're at the very beginning of this journey. Like, I'm so excited to continue to find new ways to share and express. And to your point, the more and more you start to do that, the more that you're able to see this ripple effect of how your journey inspires people. Like you walking into a room with that energy of, I am beautiful, I'm abundant, I'm amazing. I don't care what the camera looks like. You are that. That is you. That is what people feel when you walk into a room. And
Yeah, I feel that a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm at taking action. So I remember I was like, okay, well, I just jumped. I did this thing. Now what? What's it like to be a DJ? And then sure enough, Deep Tropic shows up. This was middle of August. I just quit my job. It'd been 2 weeks. And I was like, well, didn't really want to spend the money on a ticket. So I
yep,
volunteered. And then I got to get to know what's happening behind the scenes a little bit. It was a really beautiful experience. So I just went by myself, which was kind of scary, but I really wanted to meet the right people. And I remember walking and feeling the vibes from the three different
yeah,
stages. And I was rocking, I think this was when we were running in the rain. I was rocking right in that field. And I called up a friend of mine and I said, Andy, he's like, I'm at this amazing festival right now. He's like, yeah, I can tell. And I'm like, I'm going to be a DJ. He's like, okay. He said, well, if anybody can do it, you can. I said, I am. You watch, you watch. I said, next year I'm going to be playing this festival. He said, all right. And so I went into the deep culture tent and I sat down and I was very vulnerable with this woman. I shared her my story and what I was going through and how I just didn't have any idea of where I was going to go. And she said, well, you should come to Ecstatic Dance. And so I went to Ecstatic Dance. And now I'm involved in getting to know with the conscious
right.
community. And I started studying quantum energy healing. I really started to harness this gift of healing and reading people's energy. I've always known that I was being super sensitive, but practicing DJ every single day. Every single day, I did a little bit of
Yep.
something, no matter what, right? No matter what, even if it's just researching some artists, if I can't get to my decks. And I took a couple of lessons with a friend of mine and he said, if you're really going to play, it's not going to happen on this deck. I mean, it was just a really beginner deck. So I said, I want to buy this type of deck, which was $2,500. And my husband's like, where are you going to get that money? I said, I don't know. It's going to fall from the sky. And it fell from the sky.
Where did it come from?
So this is really crazy. So then a friend of mine's moving. She's moving from Houston to Florida and she's stressing out because she's got a lot to do in a short period of time. I said, why don't I come help you?
Good
And she's like,
friend.
okay. And so when we did it, we were thinking, oh, we're just going to have some fun. We'll just throw some stuff. And I said, no, why don't we really do this right? Let's meditate. How do you want to feel where you're going? How do you feel now? And we Marie Kondoed the heck out of that and redid everything. And it was so transformative for her. It was really a beautiful experience. We spent the whole time in her apartment. We got it all organized and repacked, and you could just feel the
Yeah.
lightness, right? So suddenly, when she's traveling, she doesn't have to come back and be stressed out. Everything's just
Yeah.
ready to go. Apartment's clean, just ready to go. And so we were at her going away party, and she told a friend of hers, she was telling, oh my gosh, Jess just did this amazing thing. Who knew I had that gift too, about really gently helping people release their attachment to their
Yep.
things. Why are we holding on to this things? Like things have energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're holding on to this thing that your ex-boyfriend gave you, what kind of energy is that in your
Yep.
house, right? And let's lovingly say goodbye or whatever we want to do with those things. And so she was telling her friend about it. She's like, oh my gosh, I really could use you. And I said, really? And she's like, yeah. I just moved and I've got all these boxes and I haven't unpacked them and I could use you. So she hired me,
I'm
and that
hiring you,
paid.
by the way, for this.
Okay.
when I
Yeah.
when
Let's
I
do
open
it.
up my storage unit, you're the first one I'm calling.
I'll be there, baby. I'll be there. Yes, it is a beautiful process. What's interesting, I did this big vision board, and on it, one of it was like renovate a happy house is something. I forget what it says now, but then suddenly the universe interpreted that like I'm going to help other people create a completely organized home. My home's pretty organized too, but it was just kind of like that was a
Yeah.
part of it. Like all these
And so
different things
you got
started
paid to do that, and that's what
happening.
paid for your DJ decks.
And that
Fuck yeah.
paid me enough, almost enough to get my deck. And then I sold a stupid designer bag that I had bought when I thought you needed to have a designer bag. I sold that bag and then boom, got the deck. That was a huge game changer because that really leveled up my skills. And I got super excited. And at Deep Tropics, I had met another person that was really into the dance community. And they started introducing me to all of these people. And then I started going to all of these places. And I really would call it like, I'm researching, I'm networking, I'm meeting people because you've got to be in the right place at the right time. He was like, opportunity is not going to come knocking on your door. You have to go and make that opportunity.
Sometimes you got to build the door too.
That's right. Sometimes you got to build the door and the damn
table and the chair and all of it.
What kind of knob do you want on your door? So now all of a sudden I've got this holistic relocation and reorganization business. I designed and wrote my own set of chakra affirmation cards.
We love.
And so that was a whole little thing. So I got custom affirmations, custom meditations. What am I, a relocation specialist? What am I, a DJ? What am I? I'm doing a high vibe event facilitator. And I'm like, yes, I am all of those. I am choosing joy, mind, body, spirit, and soul. I'm all of those. It's okay that I'm going to be all of those. And now it looks like I've got some other opportunities. Then I found this other skill set that I've got of creating an experience, like creating a vibe. That's really lit me up. So I helped design Dance Lounge, which was Ecstatic Dance's conscious nightlife in Nashville. So in July of this year, 2024, I get a text from Killjoy, which is a non-alcoholic spirit store. And they are having a happy hour and they want to know if I want to DJ. And I'm like, what?
You're like, hell yeah.
Yes, I say, scared shitless, but yes, it's a 3-hour set. I'm like, okay. So I prepare and I do that, and that goes great. And then I get an Instagram message from a guy named Prince, local. He says, hey man, I want you to open up for me at a gig at a new venue in a couple of weeks. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Now I'm a 30-minute set. Now I'm playing a club. Now this is my club debut. I'm like, okay. Then he's like, oh, by the way, we're going to play the Golden Door on the 18th. I'm like, the 18th? Yeah. That's Deep Tropics. Yeah. I'm going to be a DJ at the Golden Door during Deep Tropics? Yes.
My face hurts.
But I'm
smiling so much. I love this so much.
This was like huge. This was like
you literally called this in. Like you called your friend 1 year prior and said, hi, I'm going to be a DJ and I'm going to play at this festival. Unreal.
So maybe it wasn't at Deep Tropics, but I mean, it wasn't even official afters, but still, I mean, the universe, they called. And I still think I'm going to be up on one of those stages one day.
100%.
Sure.
I'll be literally dancing in the VIP section behind the stage. You know, somebody came up to me at Deep Tropics. Some guy left and came back like 2 hours later. And he literally came up to me and he was like, man, you're still dancing? He was like, good job. And I was like, did I just get congratulated for like not stop? He was like, you're still going? He was like, wow, that's amazing.
Nice work.
I was just like, bruh.
You can dance for hours. That's what music does. That's what, house music for me, it is better than caffeine.
Oh it's magical.
Sometimes it's even better than sex. It's just like.
So I loved at that festival. That was such a beautiful, transformative festival for so many reasons. But one of them was like, you and I had this amazing connection out of nowhere. And I was there with people. I came with my group with no fun, but I'm so used to doing things solo that I'm kind of not a great group girl because I
Why?
will do what I want to do. So if I go with the group, everyone in the group has to be cool with me. Like I'm a butterfly, but I'm also a boomerang. I'll always come back, but I will go where my heart calls, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
find where it feels most aligned. And if you feel like joining me, amazing. And if not, that's where I'll be. And so
See you
I did
later.
that during that set all weekend long, too. All I wanted to do was be front and center for Sophie Tucker. That was it. And then I get there and I'm like, yeah, I was trying to meet up with someone and it didn't quite work out. And then you were texting me and I was like, girl, I'm in my spot. Here's where I'm at. If you're able to get here, awesome. If not, this is where I'll be. I live here now. This is my home for the rest of the night. And then little by little, people just like you came, Evan came, everyone just came and found me. And I was like, yay. Because I was like, I'm living, I'm here, and I love being solo, but there's always a moment where I'm like, man, I wish I could share this with someone, but also I'd rather share it with myself than not have it at all. So here I am. And then when people that I love get to come in and join me, I'm like,
Mm-hmm. I loved how, it was like you were in the VIP area and I'm like, how am I getting that VIP area? And sure enough, somebody's like, here, you want a VIP,
dude,
bracelet? I'm like,
the
yes,
guy
please.
that gave me his VIP band, because I thought I was a vendor, so I was supposed to have VIP access, whatever. I'll take that up with Deep Tropics later. But I got some guy to give me his wristband, and this man, God bless his soul, mystery stranger, almost lost circulation in his hand. It was to the point where it was so hard for him to get that band off. If he had been like, hey, listen, I'm so sorry, I would have been like, yeah, I get it. It's literally stuck on you. I understand. This man contorted his hand and was like, I'm going to get it for you. And then he went into the GA area, and then halfway through the set, I locked eyes with him and I was just like, I'm so happy so much. And he was like,
gratitude is also a really huge part of
massive.
success. Any type of cultivating an optimistic, joyful mindset. Yeah. I mean, just for the littlest of things, that helps me shift too. If I'm down in the dumps and something's going on, I'm like, what am I grateful for right now? Then I'll play most likely a Sophie Tucker song, but some sort of song that lights me up.
For the people that are listening to this, that are super ambitious, that have all these dreams, that are like, I'm not even a DJ and I'm manifesting this amazing thing that's going to happen. Like, yes. And thinking about where you're at now, because there's this thing in the personal development world where we're always seeking. We always are like, how can I be better? How can I grow more? How can I have? There is a little bit of that energy. And so I think, to your point, gratitude is so important. One of the ways in which you can cultivate this gratitude is thinking about 1 year ago you, 2 years ago you, 3 years ago you. What dreams are you already living right now that a previous version of you was desiring? Just giving yourself that credit and reminding yourself, like, yo, I've already done all of these amazing things that I wanted to do. And yeah, I want to do more for sure. But right now, like, yeah, I did that. And I'm so grateful for this life I get to live right now. This is fucking beautiful. And you can still desire more. It's both. It's both.
Yeah.
You have
Yes.
to live in the both.
I feel like I'm in this place right now where, like, but I took a playbook out of Joe Dispenza's suggestion. So you set an intentions, like, so my career intentions, and it was creating art, it was creating music, it was performing, it was impacting the lives of many people. I get to be in nature. I'm the boss. I lead a team of inspired people. I make more than enough money with plenty to share. I get to spend time with my family. We travel a lot and we create a passive income. And then all of these elevated emotions, right? I want to feel joyful, excited, helpful, secure, blissful, confident, beautiful, sexy, abundant, right? I want to feel all of those things. So I just focus on that and the feeling and these intentions. And it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, it keeps getting
better,
like better, and like all of those things. I just had this experience where I created art. I am creating art, and I'm creating music. The ecstatic dance thing was just like, blew me open. Yeah. Yeah. It's what else is there, right? This is the life of my dreams right now, today,
I love
like
that.
this second. And I have everything I could ever want and more. And volunteering my time is really important to me. I used to donate a lot of resources I could to different causes. And now sweat equity is my greatest resource that I have. And so I focus on doing that. And it's like, ping, all of a sudden there's $100 in my Venmo account. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even expecting that, but okay,
Yeah.
great. Like none of that was even you know what I mean? Like it's here and now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
right this minute, because that's all we have. And I really want to continue expressing my gratitude to the powers that be for where I am right now.
Ooh, beautiful.
I'm in the boat. I'm just in the
Oh, I
boat.
love that so much. Well, this is a really great opportunity. If you have anything that is upcoming, if people want to connect with you, if people want to buy your affirmation cards, tell me all of the things and all of the ways that people can work with you, connect with you, and participate in something that you're doing.
I have my Instagram page is Choosing Joy with Jess, and I post a lot there. I also have a YouTube channel, which is Choosing Joy with Jess, and those have the custom affirmations and meditations. And I'm getting better about posting content more consistently. I'll read the affirmation cards. My website is choosingjoywithjess.com, and you can find everything that you need there too, like a link to buy your own Choosing Joy with Jess affirmation cards. I've got a retreat in Joshua Tree lining up in spring. And that's what I've got right now, working with a couple of people who've asked for me to design some musical journeys for their retreats coming up. So that's so amazing. I'm just like, today I had 3 meetings for different people wanting my help or, to co-collaborate on different events.
So exciting.
So it's all happening. But yeah, following me on the socials, the YouTube and
Amazing.
the Insta.
And we'll tag it all below in the show notes as well.
Thank you. Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Well, before we close it out, I would love to pull a card.
Good. All right. You just tell me.
Stop.
Oh my God, this is my favorite one. It's your sacral chakra. Yep. It says, today and every day, I choose to create the best day of my life.
Yep, best day ever vibes.
Today is the best day
ever. Day. Oh my God. My face actually hurts from how much you made me smile on this podcast. I'm not even kidding. I need to go do some facial exercises after this. I adore you. I am so unbelievably grateful that the universe gifted me with you. You are an absolute light, like a little fairy angel. And I'm so excited to see where life continues to take you. And I'm so excited to collaborate with you. I think this is just the beginning of so many amazing, juicy things to come.
Juicy stuff. And I admire you as well. And I want you to know that, what you see in me is just a reflection of you.
Thank you.
Because you are such a bright light and an inspiration. And you're doing it, sister. You're doing it.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something.
The how, the what is not up to us. It's the why.
Totally.
It's the why, and the universe will show us how.
I love and adore you. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit subscribe. If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, comment. Tune in for next week. We're almost at episode 20, and I'm going to do a solo podcast. Big for me, but really excited to have you guys and see you next week.
Bye.